The equations of two circles are x squared plus 10x plus y squared minus 12y equals 3 and x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 2qy equals 9. Part A, find the centre and radius of each circle, giving your answers in terms of q where necessary. So let's focus on this first circle. Let's do some completing the square. So focusing just on the x parts first, we're going to get an x plus 5. So that's me halving the 10. All squared minus the 25. So this is the same thing as this. Let's now do the same thing with the y. So we're going to have y minus half the 12 is 6. Take away the 6 squared. So this is the same thing as this. And that's going to equal 3. If I now add the 25 to both sides, and I'm going to add the 36 to both sides, we're going to get 64. So therefore I can say that the centre is going to be minus 5 plus 6. And the radius is going to be the square root of 64, which is 8. Right, we're now going to do the same thing for the second circle. I'll put this in red. So we've got the x, half the 6, so minus 3. Take away the 3 squared. So this is the same thing as this. Same thing with the y's now. We've got the y minus, now we need to half the 2q, which would be q. Take away the q squared. So this is the same thing as this. And we know that's got to equal 9. We're then going to add 9 to both sides. And we're going to add q squared to both sides. So the 9 plus 9 is 18, plus the q squared. So the centre of this circle is going to be positive 3, positive q. And the radius is going to be the square root of 18 plus q squared. There we go, we have found the centre and the radius of both circles. Part B. Given that the distance between the centres of the circles is root 80, find two possible values of q. So the distance between minus 5, 6 and 3q is root 80. So let's do a little bit of Pythagoras here. The difference between the x coordinates is 8. The difference between minus 5 and 3. So we've got 8 squared plus the difference between the y coordinates is q minus 6 squared, all square rooted, would equal root 80. Just think if we had a Just remember how we work out the distance between 2 points. If I've got the point minus 5, 6 over here somewhere, and the point's 3q, which I'm just going to roughly put here for now, then the distance between them can be found with a little bit of Pythagoras. We know the base is the difference between minus 5 and 3, and the height would be q minus 6, or 6 minus q, it doesn't matter. Anyway, to solve this, to work out what q is, I'm going to square both sides to get rid of the square root. The 8 squared is 64. If I subtract the 64 from both sides, I can then square root to find that q minus 6 is going to either be 4 or minus 4. And then if I add 6 to both of those, I find that q is going to be 10 or 2.